Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today I will be reviewing La Cabra coffee out of Denmark. I'm currently outside of the Coffee Peddler in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm going to be trying La Cabra's Hambela Arifi washed Ethiopia. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, this is actually kind of a cool review. Let's start with the obvious. Somebody here in New Haven, Connecticut really cares about their coffee. The fact that you can have a place here that, so they use two roasters. It looks like they use La Cabra and they use Tandem. So yeah, they're definitely using some big hitters with their coffee shop here. And I mean, it's a really small city. So yeah, it's called the Coffee Peddler. I'm blown away, impressed by their coffee selection. This is the type of coffee selection you would expect from a place in like a bigger city that's trying to make their mark, doing something special or unique. This reminds me of some places in Seattle actually that focus and rotate in like really high, prestigious coffee roasters like this. La Cabra in New Haven, I would have never guessed, I would have never expected. Is there design? As you can see, I'm kind of hyping the excitement about La Cabra. I was able to also grab this very special thing. This is a Ethiopia El Injerto washed Pacamara. I'm super excited about this one. This one's a really fancy box of coffee right there from La Cabra. Great roasting and everything like that. I'm going to do a separate review on its own of that box when I get a second. But let's go ahead and focus on, I guess, the shop. I mean, I've said what I said. I'm just impressed by the coffee selection. The shop itself it's a coffee shop in a college town, but the selections are amazing. I didn't want to get anything from Tandem because I'm going to be doing a Tandem review while in Portland, Maine. But let's talk about La Cabra real quick. Huge hitter, like massive big hitter in the coffee world. I found their coffee in places like Korea, in Japan, in England. Like, they're everywhere, and they've received notoriety for being one of the very best in the world. When I ask people and talk to people a lot about La Cabra, they say it's top of their list. So many people have said it's one of their top 2, top 3 favorite coffee roasters in the entire world. I'm excited to be reviewing their coffee. So I'm also pretty familiar with La Cabra, and I will say this about La Cabra. I have not been on the hype train as much as a lot of other people have. I appreciate and embrace La Cabra for what it is. I would love to go visit La Cabra myself and try their coffee. They obviously have a model that's created immense success worldwide. And I do like their coffee. I'm not saying anything even slightly negative. I would never just dare say something negative about that roaster as a whole. I don't have them in the same category as my favorites. They're amazing, but they're not, I don't see them as that same level. But we're here to just talk about this coffee specifically, and then that one later. But it's still exciting that I was able to get myself some La Cabra today. And while I haven't been, blown away in the past, I've been impressed but never truly blown away by their coffee before. This is great. This is better than a lot of what I've had. I, not too long ago, ordered a bunch of boxes of coffee from La Cabra, and they were fine, but they just were not my favorite. This Ethiopia right here is really nice. It's kind of unique for being a washed Ethiopia. I get a lot more like butterscotch caramel than I would have expected or am used to for a washed Gucci. Oh, this is actually really nice. You get some nice fruits too, some very stone fruits, some fleshy, like orangish fruits, even maybe a little bit of orange. It's actually really well-rounded cup of coffee. There's very little acidity that's coming through as well. This has probably been my favorite cup of La Cabra I think I've ever had. That's saying something. I think they did great. I think the coffee shop did great, and I think La Cabra did an excellent job on this one specifically. There's no question that this is probably going to be the best coffee shop in New Haven, Connecticut. They're definitely a must. They're definitely a highly recommend. if you're in New Haven, if you live in New Haven or driving through New Haven, like whoever owns this coffee shop put a lot of thought into the roasters that they're using, because I'm still impressed. And as far as this Ethiopia goes, it's great. I would put it's on that verge. You know, if you've never tried Scandinavian coffee, I'll throw it in the highly recommend category for that, because it's very similar to, I would say Portland has a kind of similar coffee scene on the lighter side of things, but coming through very nicely. This comes through very, very nicely, and I have no hesitancy to put this one as well, and I would drink a box of this one, and I'm super excited about the other one that I got. So obviously I'm a fan of La Cabra, I'm a fan of this shop. Everything on here is a highly recommend. This has been a great little gem find hit for me. So this has been a review of the Coffee Peddler brewing their La Cabra. Thank you for watching.